Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's your girl, Wildflower Tea, and we're back at it again, y'all. Tell me how during my last live stream, I had no idea that Trisha Paytas had put out a whole response statement when it comes to Colleen Ballinger, which I don't know about you guys, but I know many people have been waiting for, including myself. But of course, it happens right when I'm getting ready for my first initial live. So as soon as I got off the live stream, I get a mess or I seen that I had a message, which I don't check. If I'm live, my phone can ding to death and I won't check it. If it's an emergency or something like that, the hubby will know. He'll let me know because, you know, if it's an emergency, it's something different. But most of the time, it's just something social media related, and that can always wait. But I've not seen this. I refuse to watch it. I wanted to hop on and do somewhat of a live react, I guess. So, have you guys seen it? Hello, I love you. um, so we're gonna watch it. Yes, but don't comment so much. Okay. So sorry, y'all. Actually, no, baby. It's probably best that you don't, honestly. I want to protect you, son. So, anyways, all right. So we're gonna get right into this one, to be honest with you. For those that have seen it, okay. Don't spoil me. Hey, Sheridan, how are you? Hey, Mama at 3. Hey, hey. So, yeah, sorry for the late notice. I did not know, I had no planned coming on here to react to this, but I have been waiting for it. So, I'm going to go ahead and share it over. Hopefully, fingers crossed, my Wi Fi connection will be good because it's been good so far. So I'm hoping. Let's share this over. You guys let me know. Can you hear me? Can you see me okay? I figured it would probably best be for me to be on screen for this one and react to it. And again, I refused to watch it. I went to start watching it and I was like, no, I'm just going to go live. We're going to watch this together, you guys. Woo-wee. I am just, and Trish is just something else because she never had to worry about thumbnails or anything. She just really was good. You know what I mean? Like she never had to do the thumbnail work, the anything. People just watched her because of how she is. So, anyways, that was just a little side note, but we're going to get right into this. And I'm going to speed it up because I don't want to be copyright striked. I am going to be pausing it in between to give my thoughts and my commentary. You guys know how this works. But if you would like to see the full thing without my commentary, I will leave it in the description after this live. I don't know if any of my mods are here, but if so, they can pin it in the link as well if they can. If not, then I will grab it after the live and I will pin it in the description for you guys. But yeah, we're just going to get right into this one, y'all, right into it, because I am so ready to see what Trisha has to say. I need to put myself, where am I going to put myself? Hold on. Where do I want to be at? Hold on, y'all. Well, where did it go? Stop. No, I don't want it like that. Let's do more. Let's do this. I'm going to put me in the corner. And then when I got something to say, I'll pull myself up. Okay, guys. Hey, Melissa. I'm so glad y'all could join me. Hey, y'all. Again, I apologize for the late notice. I will do a highlights on this one, you guys, and post it like a shorter version. That way you don't have to worry about like all the little live technical difficulties, and try to get that out tonight for those of you. But I'm going to go ahead and I am going to speed this up for copyright purposes just a little bit. Oh, it's already sped up. Let's see if that's too far. It's 1.5. We're going to see if that's too much because Trisha talks 99 miles per hour. So actually, let me go ahead and just drop that down to 1.25. And I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, y'all. And we're just going to get right into this, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous on what she's going to say. Do you guys think she's going to defend her? Do you think she's going to? I don't know. Okay. I know that she made a comment in one of her recent videos talking about how she's about to rebrand a channel, but she didn't divulge into which one, but everyone knows it's the Colleen Ballinger one. Um, but other than that, she's not really said anything. And then Colleen puts her apology out, which was not an apology. Everyone keeps calling it the Colleen apology, but it's not an apology. There is nowhere in that sing along clownery circus act where she apologizes. But I keep seeing that, and I've seen that was trending on Twitter too. After what Colleen did to her, I can't believe she would defend her. I don't think so either, Melissa. I'm just so curious because she's been so silent, you know? All right. But I think you're right. I don't think it's going to be that either. All right, let's get into it, you guys. I'm going to shut up. I ramble too much. I apologize. Let's do this.
So this is a video that I really did not want to make, and I feel like the past few years I've really taken a step back from having to comment on everything, having to respond to everything said about me on the internet, because at the end of the day it just gets really exhausting. And then of course, being in other people's business, even if I have strong opinions about it, I really decided years ago that it wasn't good for my mental health. I have a mental illness, I have a personality disorder, which is hard to regulate my emotions. I get triggered very easily. So I've learned to deal with triggers the past few years, and I feel like I've done a very good job managing and regulating emotional stability. Um, and on
Okay, so sorry to go ahead and cut it just right off the bat, but I do want to say that I can already tell just by the little bit that we've watched right here that she is nervous about this video. You can see it in her demeanor and the way she holds herself, her swallowing a lot. Yeah, I should be able to turn it up. Let me, it's quiet too. It's quiet for me too. She's talking very quiet. That's another thing that I'm noticing here. You can tell this is not something she's excited to do, which I mean, you should never be excited to. This isn't, this is serious. This is serious stuff. And I'm sure it's also nerve wracking for Trisha because she can look sideways and people have something to say about her. And a lot of people have been waiting for her response on this. So I can imagine that this is very, very nerve wracking to be sitting down and doing. And I can tell that by her demeanor. I also wanted to just quickly say, I've noticed, and Trisha has done things I don't agree with in her past. We all do things, but she definitely took a route down the internet that was problematic, and she made her own mistakes on the internet. But since she's had her baby Malibu, I've noticed a major, major difference in Trisha's demeanor, her character, her personality, everything. She's grown and matured a lot. I think she's a good mommy. And I think people give her a lot of crap for things she's done in the past. Some of it is warranted. I'm not saying it's not. But we also got to know when to move on a little bit. And when you see growth and change and all of that in a person, it's like you can't harp on the little things forever. Now, granted, she's done a lot of big things too. So I'm not saying that it's not warranted, that the criticism isn't warranted, but I've seen a lot of growth with her. That is what I'm saying. I have noticed a lot of growth and a lot of maturity with her since she met Moses and since she had her baby. That's it. That's all. Don't be mad at me. I know a lot of people feel very indifferent when it comes to Trisha, and I do get it. But I just wanted to say that. Okay. Um, I tried to turn it up a little bit more, Melissa, so hopefully you can hear it a little bit better. But I will say this video is very quiet. In my headphones, I've got it all the way turned up, and she's just very timid sounding in this video. Hey, Curls, by the way, I'm glad you could make it back. Hey, Angie, how are you? I'm doing good. Thanks for being here. Okay, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going. This is going to be my last one for the night. And until after the 4th. So, again, if I forget to say it, I hope you guys all have a wonderful 4th of July if you do celebrate. And thanks for being with me. I want y'all to know how much I appreciate every single time I go live, every time I do a video. Those of you that click and watch, like it means a lot. But I'm going to stop talking. Okay. Sorry.
Aside from all that, just being known as the person who is just always in drama and can't keep friendships, it's it's not a good look. I've worked really hard the past couple of years to kind of just stay in my own lane and not engage in anything online, um, which is commonly referred to as drama. But I feel like this is beyond drama. I'm putting my own hurt feelings aside, and my feelings are very hurt. I've had like a sick to my stomach feeling for a while now, and today especially. Um, Me and Colleen started a podcast this year, 3 episodes. We were always friendly before. I think it shocked a lot of people because like, oh, I didn't know they were close friends like that. And the thing is we weren't close friends. We were friends. I considered us to be friendly. When I had my daughter, she reached out, and I thought, oh, it's great to have mom friends and you know friends who have kids. So I thought this podcast would be great because we always got along really great when we would see each other. Um, we've been doing videos together on and off, like maybe once a year since 2018. And so I just thought, well, this is a good podcast to get to know each other. It's a good, little thing for me to do because I haven't really done anything for a couple of years, and I really enjoy being creative and producing stuff. And it was kind of fun to do costumes and stuff. Um,
I am so sorry, you guys, but this is so awkward. This is so awkward. You can tell she is so uncomfortable doing this, and that's all I keep seeing. And it's sad. I don't know what she's about to say, but I'm uncomfortable for her. I'm uncomfortable for Trisha in this moment because she looks so uncomfortable.
I wasn't aware of these most recent things that are coming out. Everyone knows I have a very, very, very firm stance on talking to anyone underage, platonic or not. I've always been very, very firm with this that I think it's inappropriate. Um, I've been known to talk about many occasions where someone is just 17 years old and I don't feel comfortable with them, you know, being around them, hanging out with them. I remember one time there was a very popular YouTuber who was 17, and another YouTuber I was friends with wanted to bring her to my apartment. I said, absolutely not. I'm like, she has to just stay in the car. Like, I just, I have a lot of trauma when it comes to my relationships I had when I was underage, and not always sexual. A lot of my trauma comes from school, um, authorities at school, teachers at school that I trusted. Um, and sorry, this is like hard for me. Like, I'm really trying to, and I don't. It's a very hard like boundary. Like it's one that I don't let up on with anybody. I think it's I think it's weird. I talked about it multiple times. I think it's weird. So when all this came out, I was shocked. The group chats and stuff. I was kind of shocked, and it's such a difficult thing because Bowling is someone that I quickly in the literally the past month that we did this podcast, like I really, really like cared about and really like related to. I thought, well, she told me she'd canceled here and there, and she kind of understood when people would come for her for working with me, because I've done stuff in my past that's not cool by today's standards, and I think everyone can be take accountability and grow. Like I really do think people can like change and change their ways and stuff like that. If you can acknowledge it. Her video.
I agree. I just want to say I do agree. She is rambling, Wendy. That's why I went ahead and tried to speed it up a little bit. If it gets too incoherent, you guys let me know and I'll slow it back down. But I don't want to miss any important stuff. I know she's rambling, but I also know she's very uncomfortable and I get it. So I'm trying to but what I want to say is that was another reason I think a lot of people were waiting to hear from her specifically on this situation, not only because of the podcast that they just recently started, the Oversharing podcast, but also because in the past, Trisha has been very vocal about excuse me, about people, influencers, creators, adults speaking to underage children, to minors. And she has been very vocal about that. There has been a lot of different clips, floating around on Twitter with things that she has said in the past. So when this came out about Colleen, um, people wanted to know what she had to say between working with her and that, just like the Manny situation. When you work with someone and something like this comes out, this isn't something small. Like this, some people keep trying to minimize it, but this isn't something small. This is rather big. And her video, her sing along, I was going to do a reaction or a video on that, but honestly, so many people did it already. One and two, I didn't even want to play it because it was sickening to me. It was such a mockery. She made such a joke out of things, and it was just disgusting. But nonetheless, I do agree with her in the sense of, people can take accountability, they can grow, they can change, they can learn. And that is very, very true in a lot of situations, but it is situational, I believe. And in this situation with Colleen, I don't know, you guys. I feel like everything that's came out and all of the history, it's I just feel very different. I feel very indifferent about it, and I don't think it's something. Sure, she can learn from it, she can grow from it, but I don't think it's something that an apology fixes, not only because it's minors we're talking about here, but because of the long history of doing this with multiple minors. That's the really big issue. This wasn't just one example or two examples, but this went on for a very, very long time and was still going on this year, recently, so her saying she's changed, she's took accountability, she's changed her jokes, she's done all this, but yet more and more receipts continue to come out to prove something different. And that's, for me, it's like, I think therapy would be great for her. I think she needs to seek some professional help. And a real apology would have been great as well to all of these people who are now adults and young adults who have to deal with the trauma that they got from following and like looking up to her, thinking she was something special and finding and that this was their friend and all of this stuff, and then growing up to realize like, oh wow, like a lot of the things she had me do, say, said to me was inappropriate. It was wrong. And I do try to insert my own kids into situations like this and how I would feel as a parent, if my child was talking to their favorite YouTuber and these conversations were happening, and it's unacceptable. It's not okay. It's inappropriate. Period. It's illegal. Like, and I'm not joking about it. I'm just saying it very much is. This is very serious, and every situation is unique, Wendy. I agree. It is situational depending on the situation. But James Charles and Colleen Ballinger, in my opinion, I don't think accountability is enough for them. And that's just my personal opinion. I don't wish harm on them whatsoever or anything like that. But I do think it's more than just accountability, in my opinion, um, because I truly believe that there could be some legal grounds there. Um, but again, that is just my opinion. I'm going to stop rambling. Let's go ahead. Yes, counseling would be warranted. I believe so. Absolutely. You have to own up your mistakes and screw ups before you can apologize. True, that too. And Colleen's apology was not even an apology. It was her defending herself, and she says taking accountability, but these are keywords that get thrown around so much, and they have a real meaning to them, but I think they get overused so much that people don't take it seriously, including Colleen in this situation, because accountability in this situation is more than just saying I'm sorry on a video or making a sing along. It's reaching out to these people privately, and I don't even know if privately would be okay. I know Adam said he would have liked a private message, and I know they're adults now and stuff, so that's probably the best way to go about it, but I wouldn't even want to communicate with her privately. If I'm being honest, after everything she's done and the way she talked to some of these people when they were children, me personally would not be comfortable speaking to her in a private message, but that's just me. Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
Video came out, and I was just shocked, to say the least, that she didn't at least acknowledge the stuff that her own fans were saying, how they felt, to kind of brush it over in the way she did, and ultimately became like memes, and now it becomes somewhat lighthearted, even though it's not a lighthearted issue. I was shocked, and she sent me the link to her video, her apology video, and I didn't respond back to it because I was shocked.
Did she just say Colleen sent her a link to the video? So behind the scenes, Colleen is sending links. Hey, like I just put this apology out, you guys, come support me, throwing it out to all her friends, right? What? What? Oh, that makes me so mad to know that she was doing that. Wow. Um, wow. Also, I, I just that actually makes me speechless to know that she was sending that to people and everything, and it makes sense too on why Trisha's speaking out now, because and she's right. This is not a lighthearted topic, like I just said. Hey, Josh, how are you, love? I hope you're good. Hold on. This is not a lighthearted topic, like I was just saying, and it has been made into that because of Colleen's little sing along video. And I have to be honest with you guys, I feel like that was her intention. The satire of it all, the meme of it all. She knew that was going to happen, and I feel like it was her way of trying to put humor on it, break the ice, make it lighthearted when in fact it's not. And she thought that maybe she could sweep it under the rug a bit because of that. And it was sickening to me to see so many comments on her video being like, "Oh, Colleen, you did that. That was so good. Love your response. You go, girl." I yeah, um that was disgusting. And I know it's the internet and I know it's whatever, but man, sometimes these people get away with so much. James Charles, Colleen, like those are the two examples that come to like, but there's so many, and they get away with so much and they don't get held accountable to any standard really. And when they do, it only lasts for such a small amount of time. And then it's like, oh, they're back to and I know that's how the internet works, but it's very discouraging and it's sad. It's just sad. So I agree. And I just wanted to stop it and say it makes sense why she's coming out now. Absolutely makes sense why she is making this video now. Problem is the way she is talking, she could very well find herself with the legal system in court. Absolutely, Wendy. I wouldn't let my kids or anyone I know privately communicate with her. Yeah, yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. And again, to each their own. Like I understand um, why they, why Adam or Johnny or any of these people would want a private apology from her. I get it. I understand that they're owed that. Um, so I can't really speak on their behalf. I just know, like, as an outsider, I would not want to privately speak to her without having a witness or having someone there to see. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would. But nonetheless, people need to stop calling you. Some people will joke when they're be. I know, and that's what I'm saying. It's the internet and all this. I just really hate that she took something so serious and turned it into such a joke. I don't know. I just feel like that was done intentionally. It wasn't done for this reason, Wendy. I don't feel like it was done because, oh, like, she's a comedian and she makes jokes at things. I really do feel like there was a plan behind that. Like she did that intentionally because she thought it would maybe break the ice and make things better. Like people not take it serious or as serious as they have been. And that's not cool. They are all owed an apology, but definitely with yeah, yeah. That's why I'm screaming. All right, we're gonna keep going. Sorry, guys.
Um, Weeks prior to the apology video, I know we were staying in touch because, again, I know what it feels like to have the whole internet come down on you, even if the whole internet is right. Like, I'm someone who struggles with mental health issues and mental illness, and I know what that can feel like, and I know I don't want anyone, guilty or not, to ever feel like they don't have someone to talk to, that there's not a way out of a situation, that there's not a way to make a situation right. So I kind of stayed in touch with her, but um, when I got involved with this, I got dragged into it rather. Um, it was a few weeks ago, and uh, two boys, both one I believe was 20 at the time, and one who was 14 at the time. Both the 14-year-old alleged, because I didn't speak on this because I didn't see anything, and I'm not to say that I don't believe this person. It's just a very, very, very serious allegation. It's very illegal. So I was kind of waiting to see what would kind of come out of anything before I had to make this video and this statement. Um, Literally, my accountant, I don't know why she got a text from like a Huffington Post reporter asking for a statement about all this, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just put this out. And I hate putting any energy into this, but it's very, very serious. It's very serious, and it's a topic I don't take lightly, and I can't take lightly, as I am a full-time sex worker. I don't think that's the secret. It's not as advertised as it once was, but we already have a lot of stigma, misconceptions, allegations against us as sex workers. And so I need to nip this in the bud, that I do not condone at all um, unsolicited nudes, sending unsolicited nudes to anyone, of anybody, sex worker or not. I think using someone's nudes as a way to hurt them, make fun of them, make light of them, be mean is the lowest form of human, the lowest form of intelligence. I think that's so inhumane. I think that's so disgusting for anyone. Last night, the text messages were shown, and it's very clearly from Colleen to a fan. Has over 500,000 views on Twitter. That um, not embarrassed by. I'm embarrassed for her. I try to take myself out of these equations when I'm feeling triggered, and if I were to look at it as it happening to someone else, I wouldn't be humiliated for the person in the photos. I'd be humiliated for the person who sent them. Although it can be humiliating for the person in the photos as well. Um, and it somewhat is embarrassing. I get made fun of all the time for my body, my nudes, even under this person's posts. Um, while I'm thankful he posted them so I could see that this is real, um, it's hearing all that horrible stuff underneath the photo, like about my body just being messed up or disgusting, and it's a lot. Yes, I'm a sex worker, and yes, I chose this job, and yes, I make money doing it. Um, but it never feels good to have someone just like make fun of your naked body. It's just a really
I don't know how many of you guys follow Trisha or have a Twitter or know just how bad it is, like the amount of people that come at her for her body. And I'm glad that she is acknowledged, like speaking on this, because in the past she's made jokes about it. And I think that that is, like Wendy said earlier, I think that is a way that a lot of people deal with trauma and deal with things that affect them, is to try to make light of it or to joke about it. Trisha is a meme. She's an internet meme, and she has been for a long time for choices and things she's made on the internet. But when it comes to her body and stuff, people really do the most. And when all that was coming out about the jokes that Colleen made about her behind the scenes and also jokes that she made publicly, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. I also seen a clip. This is somewhat unrelated, but it ties into it about that Shane Dawson went on like this talk show and was talking about Colleen Ballinger and how ruthless she is and how she will be so friendly and so kind to your face and really make you think like, "Oh my gosh, she's so sweet, she's so kind, she's so amazing." But as soon as your back is turned, she is saying the most disgusting, horrific things about you to other people. And she not only did this to her fans, her minor fans, right? But she did this to other influencers, other creators. She did this to get her way in life and get to the top. And she stepped on everybody along the way and smiled in their face while also stabbing them in the back at the same time. So I do believe that this is a lot of this is karma. You know, things like that will and do catch up with you sooner or later, and it will be exposed. And I'm also really happy to see Trisha speaking out on this and just kind of sharing how she feels about it, saying, okay, yes, being a sex worker was a choice of mine, but also it doesn't feel good to be degraded, your body to be torn apart and picked apart like that. And that's something that my heart's always went out to her for that. No one deserves that, period. It just is what it is. If you don't like looking at her body, don't look at her body. I mean, it's very simple. Um, yeah.
Vulnerable thing, and it is a little embarrassing if I'm being honest, but I'm more embarrassed for her that this is the kind of person she is. Like I'm so embarrassed. Sending these to fans unsolicited, the context of which she was sending these, I don't get the purpose. I don't know if there was an inside joke I'm missing on this. The fan said, "Hey, congratulations on becoming parents." Um, which a month later, she just responds with a nude of me and says, "You look so pretty in this." And these weren't a long time ago. This is someone well into their 30s just gave birth sending nudes. And a month prior, I was in her house meeting her child and doing a muppet, meeting her newborn and doing a mupping with her.
Hey, education, how are you? Does anyone think Colleen will get charges put on her? She distributed corn to a minor. I think it's possible. Like I said earlier, I do believe there is some legal grounds here. Just my opinion. I could be wrong. Definitely not an attorney or anything, but I do, and I think more and more is going to continue to come out. And like I said in my last video, talking about the full coverage podcast, only Colleen and the other family members who played a part in this know how deep it really goes. And mm, but I wanted to take a second and say, could y'all imagine befriending someone and working with someone and somewhat looking up to them and thinking that they're this amazing person, and even after everything starts coming out, still being there and being kind to them and talking to them behind the scenes because you feel for them, right? And you think to some degree, to some level, this person is a friend, at least friendly. I mean, they've worked together, like she said, at least once a year since 2018. And Trisha's been nothing but kind to her. Now they like do play dates together and do all this stuff. And can you imagine seeing these types of things be said about you from this person and come out? This has been a topic of discussion since all of this started being exposed about Trisha and the comments and the jokes that Colleen has made. But to see it, but to see it, I cannot imagine how Trisha feels. I can't even imagine it. I keep thinking if I found someone sent that to my 14, oh, education. I said the same thing earlier. I said the same thing earlier. And that's really where I try to go with this is I do have children. I do have a young son. who was hitting that stage where he has his favorite YouTubers, and I would absolutely lose my mind. There's no doubt about it. Well, I would think coming on here talking about it and giving information that can be damaging. Yeah, yeah. That video she made, it just, I'm still speechless by it. I'm still speechless by it. The intention behind it, the way that she came off so just unapologetic of all of these things. It's so, it's all just so, it's so wild. It's so wild.
In these texts, there's also friends of hers. They showed the viewing parties that were talked about to make fun of me. They did viewing parties of my adult content to make fun of me. And there's a friend of hers who I actually met as well back in 2018 with his face posing next to explicit images of me. And there was a video of it, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Um, and it wasn't just one occasion. There was multiple times that she sent just different photos and different positions of me. Um, I did ask her about these a couple weeks ago before there was the proof, so to speak, right? And she assured me that she had never sent photos of me, that this one fan who was underage at the time would send photos to her. She's like, no, he was a fan. He sent photos to me and he was obsessed with you. And he would just send me it. And once in a while, I'd like respond to him and be like, hey, okay. That's what she told me a couple weeks ago. There's a clip.
Y'all, I just like for real for right now, the how do you lie? Okay, riddle me this. How do you lie knowing that there's proof out there? Knowing like all of this proof is coming out, and to just lie. Did she think it wasn't going to come out? Did she think that she would some way be able to talk herself out of it and say, "Oh, these are doctored. These aren't real. This is the." Wow. Wow, y'all. Like the this woman has the nerve to continue to lie and to continue playing, like denying her part in this stuff. And it's crazy. And that's what makes it even worse as more and more comes out, because she's had nothing but ample opportunity. She keeps saying she's took accountability. She keeps saying all this stuff. Her apology for all these crude jokes and dark humor and all this stuff that she made back in, what was it, 2023 years ago, it was just gaslighty AF. That's really what it was. And it was also passive aggressive, all of this stuff to try to sway people to send hate towards Adam. That's exactly what it was. That's exact. And she did it so well. She did it so well. And so many people fell for it. And it's like, you think you're going to do that again? Like, you can tell this girl is a master manipulator in the way that she communicates with people. And it's like she's prepared. She's ready to come up with an excuse or a narrative to not believe what's right in front of your face. And that is scary. She's she's scary. Like, wow. That's crazy. She probably thought she could fool people and convince them someone else is to blame. I think you're right. I think you're right, Wendy. But I think this has grown so large at this point that there's no talking yourself out of it. You know what I mean? And I think so much has came out. If you guys followed the Twitter, like Twitter and all these places, like it's really bad. Um, and she's right. It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing to be. I'm 32 years old. I think Colleen's 36. Correct me if I'm wrong. she's a mother, all of these things. And it's like, I never got the whole lore of Miranda Sings, but I was fond of her. I was fond of her Colleen's vlogs, her family content, so to speak. And she really played a good part, y'all. And that's not to say some of it wasn't real, some of it I don't know. That's the thing. When something like this happens and all this stuff comes out and you see how nasty someone is behind the scenes, everything comes into question. Everything they ever done, their personality, their online persona, everything comes into question in a situation like this. Wendy, that's a good point because that chat AI GPT stuff is really getting crazy. That's a scary situation. That's a whole conversation on its own. Like for real. Technology is getting real scary, you guys. Real scary. Um how old are Colleen's kids or kids? I know she has 2 twins. Don't ask me. I never followed her that closely. I guess I could look it up. Let's look it up really quick, and then we're gonna keep going, guys. How they're young, though. They're toddlers and younger, you know? How old is Colleen? There we go. Colleen Ballinger's kids. Sorry, I can't top fast. Okay, let's see here. It says here Colleen Ballinger's kids. That's the Ballinger family. Let's go down. Um, I don't know. It doesn't give an actual age. I want to say her one son is 4, and then her twins are maybe 2, maybe if 2. Um, but I can't see like an actual age. But on the Wikipedia, if you guys go look, it has everything. Accusations by former fans. It says in April 2020. In April 2020, 17-year-old fan and YouTuber Adam McIntyre accused Ballinger of enlisting his unpaid help for content, which that too, like she was employing these kids and they were working for her and she didn't pay them nothing. No recognition, nothing. He had suggested for her Miranda Singh's social media accounts and of sending him lingerie when he was 13 years old. That's 2 years older, year and a half older than my son. The following month, Ballinger posted a video on YouTube in which she said that McIntyre had asked for the lingerie after seeing it displayed on one of her live streams as one of the several gifts for her fans. She also said it had been a mistake in judgment in sending the underwear to the fan. You think? But the thing is that's the only thing she said was really a mistake in judgment. The rest of it was like, I've grown, I've learned, I've da da da. But obviously not, because again, as Trisha said, this went on and on. There's not one, two, three. At this point, we're seeing dozens, if not more, dozens upon dozens of people coming out with their own experiences with Colleen. And it's a lot. It's very heavy. It's very serious. And I hate that there are people out there minimizing it as if it's not that big of a deal. But if I'm not mistaken, you guys, if anyone sees this, please correct me in the comments. But I want to say her oldest is 4, and the other 2 are maybe 1.5, 2 at the oldest. But again, I could be wrong. But they're young. They're very young. And I agree, Wendy. Okay, let's keep going. Sorry, guys. Well, this is going to take us forever. I want to try to keep this under an hour. That way it's not too bad to edit for the highlights. All right. Um, Let me mute.
Clip of her saying she saw a whale squirt, and she wasn't talking about Trisha Paytas. I sent her that as well, and she said everything's taken out of context, like these are lies. And being as I was like her friend and I knew her as a person, I was trusting her, I guess. I mean,
Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad to me. Like she kept giving Colleen the benefit of the doubt, and Colleen kept lying to her, and that's sad to me because I think Trisha does. I think I could be wrong, but I don't think I am with this being an example that Trisha is easily manipulated by people if she is friends with them or likes them. And Colleen took advantage of that. And this is another situation. Yes, Trisha's an adult, all of these things, but Trisha didn't deserve this. People don't deserve to be treated this way, especially when you're nothing but kind and supportive and all of these things. And you give them the benefit of the doubt to be honest. I think, bless her heart, I think Trisha would have even forgiven her if she was honest. But to see it all be lies and she gave her chance after chance after chance to be honest, it's so it's just so freaking disgusting, you guys. It really is. There's no other word for it.
I mean, overall, who do you trust? Like this person you know in real life, or people you don't know anything about? Um, I guess that's why there's that whole innocent until proven guilty thing. Um, so there was two options there for her to say like, yeah, that was a while ago. I was a hater. I mean, I'm the first to say like I've definitely have been a hater in the past. I've been miserable in my own life. I've been going through shit in my own life in the past, and I was miserable and I hated on people for sure. Not people that I would go and like be at their house and like do a whole podcast with, but sure, I can understand people, gossiping or making fun of people. I don't understand the making fun of bodies. That's weird. It's weird. I don't get those texts at all. Like I look at those and I'm like so confused. Like, okay, I'm the joke. My naked body's the joke, I guess. Okay. I don't know. It's very odd. But I kind of gave her outs because I was like, hey, like, we've talked crap about me. That's fine. We weren't that close back then, I guess. Like, whatever. And she vehemently denied, no, I never sent pictures of you. Like the underage man would send me pictures of you. Not specifying if they were nude or not. The the text came out last night and my heart started racing. I was triggered. I haven't been triggered in a while, and I was triggered. My heart was racing, my stomach, I was sick to my stomach, and I don't know, I guess seeing stuff like that's probably the worst I've seen from someone that I've like considered a friend. Like that's it's pretty barbaric. It's pretty misogynistic, and it is downright cruel. It's a low level of a person um, to say that stuff. And again, this isn't years ago. This is someone well into their 30s. It's not a child. It's not a kid. As of now, as of recording this, it's the text came out, and the minor fan, who is now an adult, has said that those same pictures were sent to him. This is all alleged, as I haven't seen anything, so I don't want to. I just want to put this out ahead of anything. I know there's every day something coming out, and seeing that text from the Huffington Post, I'm like, okay, let me just get ahead of this. I'm so sorry to that person if this is true. I'm so sorry. I know firsthand how traumatizing that can be. I had nothing to do with this. I do not condone it. I think it's the most disgusting thing, and above all else, illegal.
Thank God she said that. Like I think she's the no, I think Jeffree Star said something as well along the lines, but that's really, you guys, that's what we're dealing with here. This is illegal. It's not okay. Oh my gosh. And the people defending her like it's no big deal. Mind boggling to me. So I'm so glad she said that. I hate that she had to see such disparaging photos of herself and things being said from someone that she thought was a friend. She's right. It's barbaric. It's misogynistic. It's ruthless. It's evil, pure evil. And so many people, even on my Manny and Laura video, there were a couple of comments of people being like, this isn't that big of a deal. You guys are doing them. Are y'all following the same thing I am? Are you seeing the same content and the same stuff coming out as I? Like that's truly what I want to say, and I respect everyone's opinions on things even when I disagree, but this is again, I hate to continuously compare it, but this is like like the James Charles thing. This is serious stuff. It's no joke. It's not lighthearted. It's none of those things. And I genuinely do believe there's legal grounds here. And I genuinely think Colleen's going to have to answer to this in court, especially as more and more that comes out, and maybe other family members of hers, because I've seen some pretty disgusting things that her brother has sent and other members to minor fans. And it's just, it literally makes me sick to my stomach, to be honest with you. And that's why I've not been covering it more, because it is just so disgusting. She can admit that what Colleen has done is wrong, then stop defending or apologizing for her. Right. Right. This is what groomers do. Hold on, what's to say? This is what groomers do. She was showing corn to minors and giggling, pretending it was a joke, making something serious into something that's a joke. Yeah, absolutely. She definitely needed to do this because the pictures were connected to her, and being that she was friends with Colleen, she might have thrown Trisha under the bus or something. I wouldn't have put it past her, to be honest, because obviously she can't be honest even behind the scenes to about things. And honestly, like I could tell Trisha did not want to speak on this. And look, I get it. I get people not wanting to speak out, but I don't think you even have to say much. Like most of these people who have worked with her, that worked with her, befriended her, I don't think much has to be said other than I don't support this. I do not agree with what is coming out, and I did not know this side of Colleen. I had no idea. I had no idea about this stuff. And that's really all you have to say. Now with Trisha, I do think it has escalated because of all these other messages coming out on her where it's different. And I think that's why we're getting this video now from her. But from the average influencer or coworker or whatever, I don't think you have to say a whole bunch, you know. What Manny and Laura did was just, and I adore them. Again, I like them. They just really missed the mark with their podcast, and I'm glad that they realized that. But they could have acknowledged that they should have done more, or could have just been very basic surface level with it. But either way, I'm getting on the tangent. Yeah, so twisted, so twisted. She has low or no self-esteem. Some people are just straight evil. Absolutely. And Colleen knew that. And you know what the worst part is? Is Colleen struggled with her own self-esteem and EDs and things. So to do that to someone when you know that struggle, it's just evil. It's evil. It's evil. Okay, let's keep going.
And the person she sent, who was it, 20 at the time, maybe 21. I still think it's disgusting. A grown woman in their 30s doing this to someone who is in their house, been around their family. Like, you have some issues. It's a sickness. And I don't think this is jumping on a hate bandwagon. This is like, hey, maybe she doesn't get it. What she did was wrong. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like, okay, we need to keep talking about this because this is really wrong. This is really gross. And it's also unsolicited nudes. They weren't, no one was asking for this. I don't know the inside joke. She said they're taken out of context. I don't know what the viewing parties or your friend posing next to them are like.
You know, I just got to say, I really do hate that narrative being put out that this is a hate train or she may not know what she done, because I think maybe maybe that could have been said back in 2020, right? When she did her video and when all that first happened. Maybe that could have been said, but at this point, as much as that has came out, the intention and the amount of effort she had to put in, um, to not only have people working for her to, you know, go against Adam and what he was putting out there, but also the amount of effort she put into communicating with all of these fans and the amount of time that she put into viewing parties and just all of the sick stuff. There's no way you're not aware that that is wrong. And I know a lot of people have discussed her upraising and the fact that she was raised very religious and sheltered and all of those, and I do think that those things play a part, and that can be an explanation. Absolutely. That can be an explanation, but it's not an excuse. I have witnessed some people come out of cults, come out of a very sheltered lifestyle. I've seen people who were raised by addicts and they turned their life around and they did amazing things with their life and they flourished and they thrived and they got away and did incredible. And sure, they had issues and they had to work through those things, but your upbringing is no excuse. It's just not. It can be an explanation on some things, but it's not an excuse to be an evil person, to be ruthless, to lie, to be fake. All of those things are very intentional. It takes intention to come off looking one way when you're really another. That takes intention, that takes effort. You have to be some level of aware to do those things. Just saying. Just saying.
I just had to make this video to say I don't stand behind Colleen whatsoever. Her video was not an apology, and it took away from the severity of her actions of talking to minors, bringing minors on stage at her show. These people are speaking up and they're uncomfortable for a reason. Acknowledge it, change it, do better. But being told she never sent these photos, and these actually do exist, these text messages, I feel like super disrespected, and at least be honest about it to like show some accountability, show like, yeah, that was stupid, that was immature, whatever. But I don't stand by her. I'm embarrassed to be associated with her. I'm embarrassed for the fans that she messaged those to. That's should never have happened. And again, this really hurts sex workers as a whole. This is out there and it looks like we're some deviants because this is used in this way. It's disgusting. Yes, I'm a sex worker, but a lot of those images and videos were behind a paywall, one that requires someone to be 18 and over. And that's it. That is my statement on it. And I'm not going to speak on this again.
Well, all right, you guys. That was definitely not what I was expecting. I have to be honest. I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. I wasn't expecting that though. Um, and I will say, like, my heart goes out to Trisha in this situation, to anyone, to all of these people. Um, Adam, Johnny, Becky, like so many people I don't know anything about. I'm sure there's so many others that have came out and shared. Um, I'm sorry. I am sorry that you had to experience this, to be talked about like this, to be the brunt of jokes at the sake of your appearance, your body. I'm sorry to the thousands and thousands of fans who really have looked up to her, that she talked ish about with other fans. Um, yeah, it's just, as I've said before, I never got the lure of Miranda Sings. I always thought that it was not, I never thought it was entertaining. And that's just me. Maybe it just wasn't for my era. I do believe her content, I know she says it was like for all ages, but in my personal opinion, just my opinion, um, I feel like it was targeted towards children specifically. And the fact that she used that to her advantage to do such disgusting things and have these kids not work for her, do her dirty work, look up drama and tea sites and get information for her, say mean things to other influencers and other creators on her behalf so that she could keep her hands clean. All of these things, again, show intention. So I don't feel sorry for Colleen. And I think that she was very aware of the things that she done being wrong. And I think that that is why she used these minors and her fans and friends to do her dirty work. I think she was very aware, and I have no sympathy for her. And after that apology, sing along circus act, even more so. So I believe, again, karma is real. You get what you put into this world in tenfold. And I think that that's what's happening with Colleen. And I think it will continue to happen. And I just feel really bad for all of the people who thought they were friends with her, were fans of hers, thought she was something she's not, you know? Um, and to find out just all the horrific things that she's done, said, all of it. It's disgusting. And I hope that she gets more than held accountable. I hope this makes it into a courtroom. Um, and I hope that the conversation continues. More and more people speak out and share. And yeah. So, with that, you guys, give this video a big thumbs up. Sorry for the late notice again. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful 4th if you guys celebrate. If not, I just hope you have a wonderful, what is it, Tuesday? No sense of time. Um, and yeah, give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below all your thoughts and opinions on this one. Again, I appreciate you guys so very much for tuning in. And until the next one, bye, guys.